and we're going back to From Russia with Love and some of the comments that have been coming forth. And some are still focusing, and this is the programming again, on the name the Great White Race and the Aryan connotations, and it's all down to the programming. But if you're focusing on the colour, you are missing the point completely, and you are playing the divide and conquer game for them. Now, we can go back in history and produce it in a way that makes more sense and connects the dots. But with history and time, there is always an element of proof that no matter who writes it, that can be deemed as 100% truth. Now, what I do is a matter of putting the pieces together and then seeing if it all fits. Because if it doesn't fit, something is missing, something is hidden. It's a bit like humans turning up 40,000 years ago and nothing before. It doesn't make sense. It means something was hidden. And even the detailed knowledge I put out cannot possibly have all of the truth all of the time. As what is talked about largely in that series took place in other epochs of time that very few remember being there to then confirm the full truth. But given the reaction to THI since that series has escalated, one would say it's hit a raw nerve of truth in a lot of regions. So the evidence are supporting the proof of what was said in the show is kind of overwhelming at this point. Now, what we can do is we can all go back in our own time in this lifetime, which the bulk of the From Russia with Love series is, and also part of the last show on Saturday as well. What is fact is, every colour has increased their numbers bar one in the last 110 years. So what does that tell you? And the questions raised and asked would then be, are they targeting that group? Well, the proof of which is in the figures and the information itself. So they were targeting that group more than others in the countdown to Extinction Day, which is 2012. Again, we asked the question, so what does that tell you? Perhaps they were targeting the strongest or their main enemy group, does it not? Which actually the wars described in the Vedas tells you, the dark-skinned magicians destroying the white race. Now, to me, it matters not which colour it is, whether it was the great black race, the great red race, or the great yellow race, that taught the better practices and then went around the world teaching a better way and supporting non-violence. I would support that just the same. And then remember from the show, From Russia with Love 2, that both the yellow and the black race asked the white race for help to remove their genetic malfunctions. Does that make any sense? If there's all division and this white race was the bad one. Now, if the white race is all about their own supremacy and a white-only policy, which is the narrative from the scripted National Zionist Aryan propaganda-based program, why would they bother helping the other two races? It makes no sense. They also help the red and brown colours as well in North and South America. Again, you have to ask the question, does that fit in with the one colour only program? Well, clearly not. So why should people get hung up on the white race? As our show has borne out, we have highlighted the plight of all colours in many countries around the world. We covered Malawi and Zimbabwe earlier. If this show and its narrative was based in favour of one colour, why bother spending so much time in my shows highlighting the atrocities against the people of other colours? Because if I was a Nazi or white-only based and following the Aryan propaganda script, surely the elimination of all other colours would be welcomed by their definition of a white supremacist. Again, it makes no sense. If this show or host doesn't like Jews, why spend so much time alerting them to the dangers within their midst? Why bother warning them of the Zionists? Because Zionists have killed more Jews than any other race combined. Oops. Surely if you were anti-Jewish, you would just let them carry on in their own delusion. It is a problem of it also perhaps being a Russian-based group from the past, when millions of Americans are being programmed into thinking Russia and Russians are like some return of the Antichrist. But where is the evidence supporting that? Beyond making a statement like the Russians are commies. There is none. And we have to step outside the boundary boxes that the system has created for us, and we stepped into them. Let go of your programming. It only served them, not us. The white race came in peace, and they weren't all white either. They taught about soul development, of building your own abilities up, not technology. Didn't need it. That's inherent to an organic human. They went around not conquering countries, but teaching them. Helping them with the genetics, which sadly went wrong. The Hopi talk about the Great White Brotherhood that helped them with all kinds of things. Before the serpents came in and the other Pelosi-like lizards destroyed it. So far from being destroying the white race and its people, you need to protect them. Because if there's one particular colour that's going to save this planet, it will be them. They are here now again with the teachings, whereby we all step forward, all colours, all working together against the dark forces.